Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? This stinks. The New Orleans Saints, of course, will be headed to Kansas City for Monday Night Football, and they might very well be without Willie Gay. He shared on his Instagram story a photo of himself. I would presume this is a hospital. It could be some other medical-type facility. He's got his arm in a sling, and it looks like his left hand is wrapped, casted in some way. I don't want to make any presumptive speculations about what that is. If he had surgery, procedure, don't know. If they just wrapped it, I have no idea. But that's certainly not good for Willie Gay and the opportunity to play in 6 days against the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football, his former team. This is a Saints team that, but quite literally, from the very first day of training camp, has dealt with injuries. Remember, the very first day of training camp is when Kendre Miller had his hamstring injury, and then, literally every day for that first week of camp out in California, another key player went down with an injury, and unfortunately, it's something that's carried into the season. We know, of course, how shorthanded they were against Atlanta with losing Cesar Ruiz and Eric McCoy. Demario Davis didn't play. You lost Tyrann Mathieu during the game. You lost Willie Gay during the game. Thankfully, Alvin Kamara, despite his injuries, Taysom Hill left during the game. Chris Olave, who had a hamstring injury on Friday, went out and played quite well. But this is a team that has been really hit hard by the injury bug this year. And it's already a team that you don't feel like has great depth, certainly in the spots we've discussed, offensive line, wide receiver, where you can ill afford to have those types of losses, but they just continue to come. The disappointing part for Willie Gay, no doubt, is, and we'll wait to see an update when Dennis Allen meets with reporters. Of course, Tuesday is an off day in the NFL, so no media availability today for Dennis Allen. But Willie Gay is a guy that signed with New Orleans from the Kansas City Chiefs, signed really a one-year prove-it deal and was playing pretty well for New Orleans. But it certainly doesn't appear like he's going to be able to play in that homecoming on Monday against the Kansas City Chiefs. And keep in mind, you're going to be playing against a Chiefs team that hasn't played its best, but is 4-0. Of course, they won on the opening night of the season against Baltimore, where they literally won by a toe. The opening night of the NFL, where it looked like the Ravens had scored the equalizer, or they were going to go for two, either to win or lose on that 2-point conversion. But literally a toe. They beat Cincinnati despite a fantastic performance by Joe Burrow. Great duel there. They won that game 26-25 at home. They won at Atlanta 22-17, and then, despite a really sluggish performance on Sunday, won in LA against the Chargers 17-10. So the Chiefs' offense, they're 14th in the NFL in scoring at 23 points a game. So they have hardly looked Chiefs-like, and they're going to be, we know, without Rashee Rice as well. Andy Reid confirmed that on Monday, that the wide receiver who was injured on Sunday against L.A., that he's not going to play against the Saints.
We're still testing him on things here, but so I don't have a definite for you right now, but we will get it to you. And he's not going to be available, obviously, this week, so we're going to make sure we get all the tests that need to be done, and then we'll let you know on that.
Remember, Demario Davis is already out for New Orleans. We'll see if he's back this week, but missed a game for the first time in his 13-year NFL career due to injury. He'd missed one game back in 2021 due to COVID protocols, but this is the first time in 13 years he missed a game due to injury with that hamstring. So we'll see if Davis is available. We know Willie Gay, well, we don't know. We'll see what Willie Gay's availability, but judging by the photo he shared, it doesn't look good. That means you'd probably be looking at Pete Werner and DeMarco Jackson as your starters. Maybe Anthony Orji gets signed for the practice squad and is active on game day as a third linebacker. But boy, that's a far cry from Demario Davis, Pete Werner, Willie Gay if you're down Davis, and Gay, and you're down to Warner, Jackson, and Orgy. So, again, we'll see with the first injury report of the week when it comes out and when Dennis Allen meets with reporters how this comes along. But Dennis Allen, when he met with reporters on Monday after the loss to Atlanta, they know the challenge that they're facing with Kansas City. He talked about this on Monday.
Defending Super Bowl champs, multiple Super Bowl champs. I think they're a really good team. I think they're really well coached. I think the quarterback's outstanding, playing good defense right now. They've always been really good in the kicking game. And it's tough to go into Kansas City and win. So we got our work cut out for us, but that's the task that we've been dealt.
As far as the Kansas City side, Saints shorthanded. We talked about Rashee Rice not being available for KC this week. Andy Reid was asked, so who steps up in his stead?
I mean, we've got guys here that have experience of playing in the game. So, I mean, we've got a good group of guys there that we can utilize. And, we normally spread the ball around, and that's what we'll continue to strive to do.
One other personnel note is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, of course, the former LSU star, first-round pick of the Chiefs. We know he started the season on the non-football injury list, so away from the team for 4 weeks. He's been very open about his struggles with PTSD. I think many people remember the story, but in that summer before the 2019 season, Clyde was involved in an incident where he shot and killed a man. He and a teammate were held at gunpoint, and Clyde defended himself and shot and killed a man. And he's been open about that, about his struggles with PTSD from that. Which I think, God, it's so incredibly understandable. I mean, it's hard to fathom. But Clyde is eligible to return. We told you last week he'd shared on some of his social media kind of like an hourglass and pictures of him in the uniform as if he was about ready to come back. And Andy Reid was asked about that on Monday with Clyde.
Yeah, again, let me get with Brett, and then we'll be able to give you more on that. I don't want to say anything now that I don't have a definite on.
So we'll wait and see word on Clyde. I would love for Clyde to be back. I would love for him to run for 250 yards and 6 touchdowns, and for the Saints to win 52-49. That would be great. It's a big spot for the New Orleans Saints coming up in Kansas City. We had to do a station survey earlier today where we asked if we thought the Saints would make the playoffs, and just very candidly, my answer, this isn't going to surprise you, my answer was no. And a big part of it is I don't think you're going to win this week in Kansas City. It's the NFL. It's an any given Sunday, or in this case Monday, type league. But if you lose, you fall to 2-3. You come home against Tampa in a game you absolutely have to get. While there are some gettable games in the middle of your schedule, I just look to the final 3 weeks where the Saints, in 2 of their final 3 weeks, are going to be at Green Bay, at Tampa, with a home game against the Raiders wedged in the middle. Just really hard to imagine getting those road games late in the season when you may need them if you're hovering somewhere around 500 in playoff territory. But we'll see. Big opportunity coming for the Saints on Monday Night Football in Kansas City. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.